Hello YouTube, shintigercurl here, that dude in the straw hat, bringing you yet another awesome video. Now, sorry, I just finished eating. But anyway, we are a little over 24 hours removed from the biggest NXT event, NXT Takeover Respect, where we saw perhaps one of, if not the greatest women's match of all time, with Sasha Banks and Bayley battling for the NXT Women's title in a 30-minute Iron Man match. Now, as I mentioned in my review, there were a lot of people in the crowd that night. Hideo Itami, Funaki, Kevin Nash, Stephanie McMahon, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, to name a few. But there was one guy who was there backstage and who didn't get a lot of press, but now it's officially come out that tonight he made his in-ring debut at a taping at NXT at Full Sail University. For those of you, his name, the Tennessee Cowboy, James Storm. That's right. TNA original, well, another TNA original, has made the jump from the Embattled company and entered into NXT. For those of you who don't know, James Storm is, of course, one of the original TNA members who was there during the Asylum days in the early 2000s. Him, along with several other noteworthy people, such as Bobby Roode, Eric Young, Abyss, I think Austin Aries was an original, Chris Sabin, and of course AJ Styles. But yeah, James Storm is a pretty good pickup for NXT. And right now I'm going to read an article provided for me by my friend Mr. Dante Nickings. Actually, it's two. Actually, well, was one from the WWE's website and one from Daily Wrestling News website. So I'm going to read this one. I'll provide both links in the description below. And for the Daily Wrestling News website, it says, and I quote, WWE issues statement on James Storm in NXT. As noted, former TNA World Heavyweight Champion James Storm debuted at tonight's WWE NXT tapings from Full Sail University. WWE has announced the following. One night after the critically acclaimed TakeOver Respect special on WWE Network, NXT has once again made waves. James Storm, an 18-year veteran and former heavyweight champion, has made his unannounced debut at tonight's NXT tapings. He competed in a match that will air on NXT on Wednesday, October 21st, only on the WWE Network. Storm's arrival just undercards what the WWE Universe already realizes: you can never know who will show up on NXT. And we have a tweet from Triple H with several pictures of James Storm coming out in his usual trench coat and bull rope attire. And of course, the NXT Twitter account, James Storm Brand, arrives at NXT at Full Sail University, and a picture of James Storm just outside the arena before his match. But yeah, there's that. Let me see if I can find the other one from the WWE's official website. All right, here it is. WWE's official website. James Storm arrives in NXT. Let's see. It pretty much says the same thing that we just mentioned in the other article. This just confirms it. So, what exactly does this mean for NXT as a whole? It just adds another bit of great talent. James Storm, despite the fact that he came from TNA, which is, well, a joke of all things, actually he has proven himself to be a unbelievably talented in-ring competitor with a lot of charisma. He got to start with his tag team partner, the Wildcat Chris Harris, to form one of the most decorated tag teams in the earlier days of TNA, America's Most Wanted. Look up America's Most Wanted versus Triple X, Elix Skipper, and Christopher Daniels in a steel cage match. Phenomenal match. He tagged with him for a while until the two eventually broke up. He then had a short singles career before eventually finding himself tagged again with former Team Canada member Robert Roode, and together they formed an unlikely pairing who would go on to be perhaps the greatest tag team to ever come out of TNA, Beer Money Inc. incredible. James would also enjoy a 2 world title runs, both as a face and a heel, I believe. And he also teamed up with, I believe, who was he teamed up with? I think he was teamed up with Gunner for a while before striking out on his own. In the last few months, he was involved in the storyline where he became sort of a cult leader, like TNA's equivalent of Bray Wyatt, starting his own group called The Revolution, which consisted of Mahara Ashira, also known as Koya, the Monster Abyss, Manic, formerly known as Homicide, and Japanese wrestling sensation Sonata, also known as the Great Sonata. After leaving the company, unfortunately, the entire group dissolved, and they're still wrapping up tapings. I believe last week was the last time you saw James Storm on TNA television. But yeah, despite the fact that he has come from a major rival of the company, I wouldn't say competitor, it's too nice of a word. I'm glad that James Storm made the jump. Along with Samoa Joe, they made the right decisions in doing this, and this just goes to show you, who would have thought years ago that you would see on the same program Kevin Steen, El Generico, James Storm, Prince Devitt, and Samoa Joe, all on one brand under the WWE. No one would have thought that possible, but this just goes to show you that the NXT brand is something very, very special, because there was no way none of these guys would have made it to the main roster, or even let alone be hired in this environment due to Vince, and no small part to you, Kevin Dunn. That's one for you. But this just goes to show you that Triple H, regardless of how you view him, regardless of the jokes about him burying people, and he has buried people, this is his redemption. Ever since he took a more managerial role, he's been hitting shit out of the park. You could call him hiring Sin Cara a mistake, because, well, it's Sin Cara's own fault for not, well, the original Sin Cara, Mystico, for not being able to learn English or adapting his style to the WWE style. Karma he hired, it's not his fault either, not her fault. She just got pregnant and then had a miscarriage after when she was taking time off, so it really sucks for her. But NXT, Triple H has transformed NXT into something that the fans really want to see, and he said so in a panel interview that they had with him and various other NXT stars, both past and present. And he said that, and he made a comment that he didn't just look at the indies and just think they were beneath him. With NXT, Triple H wants to gather the best talent. It doesn't matter to him where you come from, what your pedigree was. If you're good, you're getting in. I mean, it's like, he didn't care if you're from ROH or Impact or Chikara Pro or Noah or New Japan. It doesn't matter. If you're the best, if you're good at what you're doing in the ring, he'll bring you in. It doesn't matter your experience, he will bring you in and add something to the experience. And that's what makes NXT so great and superior to Raw, SmackDown, and everything else on the main roster, is because of giving all these indie and outside sourced wrestlers a chance to shine where they normally would never be able to shine because of certain stigmas involved in the WWE. And I'm glad for it. I am glad to see more crossovers, more superstars, more wrestlers who come from other promotions, who made a big name for themselves and who want to at least have a try at the big company. I'm not saying they're going to succeed, I'm not saying they're going to fail, but NXT gives them the ground to do that. And we have, as we saw last night, it has done gangbusters. Gangbusters. I mean, ROH routinely NXT routinely puts out a better product than what is going on the main roster. And for that, I got to give it up to him. So, James Storm, welcome to the NXT family. Make yourself at home. And just like Triple H said to Kevin Owens when he asked how to get the crowd over with him, just be yourself. Be James Storm. Be the Tennessee Cowboy. Be the man. Be the multi-time world champion, the multi-time tag champion, and the multi-time heavyweight champion, and the fans will love you for it. So yeah, that's my video on James Storm joining NXT. Like what you see? Link, comment, subscribe below. Got any questions, comments, or just want to discuss this whole situation about James Storm joining NXT? Leave below, I'll get back to you. Want to support the channel? Like button's right there. Advertisements all around. Tip jar is right up here. I'm sorry, I'm just getting used to this new orientation for my camera. So, anyway, you know the deal. So, anyway, that's my video. So, until next time, this has been shintigercurl. That dude in the straw hat saying good day. And sorry about your damn luck.